Today you're celebrating a milestone. It's an important credential on your resume. Thanks to the Davidson College of Engineering, you've proven your ability to learn and to work hard. I am grateful for all the doors this engineering training has given me. My career has been a bit unconventional, but it was all built on a strong foundation. But none of it was really planned. So when people tell you that you should follow your dream, chase your passion, don't worry if you don't know what that is. How could you possibly know that now? It's the classic dilemma. You don't know what you don't know. I've interviewed many of my colleagues, and this is a common theme. You start out like a puppy with all sorts of energy and curiosity, and you think you know what your career will be. But life happens, and your path changes. My message is that's okay. Things will turn out better that way. My reasons for choosing engineering are a little vague to me now. I thought I wanted to be a doctor or an astronaut. Chemical engineering seemed like a good idea because it was versatile. I thought I could either go to medical school or pursue a career at NASA. But thanks to 3 different nudges along my career path, I never went that way. My first nudge was while I was a student here, and it was a national nuclear engineering disaster. Even back in my day, San Jose State's engineering program worked closely with industry. Somehow I lucked out and I got a work study job at General Electric's Nuclear Energy Business Group right down the street on 10th Street. GE had a program to promote nuclear engineering, so that the idea was I would work part-time while I got my bachelor's degree, and then GE would send me to UC Berkeley for a master's degree in nuclear engineering. I worked at GE for 3 years and I loved it. The engineers there worked in all different kinds of career paths. Some were on the technical ladder, working up to principal engineering positions with their PhDs. Others were on the management path, and they managed teams of engineers and worked on major technical projects. Some of the engineers had MBAs and spoke a completely different language, and they were the business executives running the business and finance aspects. In my first cubicle, I shared space with 3 real engineers, one from Alabama, one from Japan, and one from Italy. It was a great place for a student, and it seemed like engineers ran the world. In fact, at the time, the President of the United States was a nuclear engineer. Back then, nuclear energy was viewed as a clean, alternative energy source. GE plants were located all around the world, and thanks to my Fortran programming class here at San Jose State, I ended up working on computer modeling of the containment systems for these power plants. And those are the systems that prevent the harmful radiation from leaking out into the environment. Then my first nudge happened, the 3 Mile Island accident. You can Google it if you want to see how far back that was. But it was big national news, and all the engineers at GE were buzzing about it, talking about how the problem was really human error and had nothing to do with the technology. In fact, some safety relief valves had been locked open by accident during some maintenance. Because I was working already on the containment modeling systems, I helped the joint task force that was formed to figure out the root cause of the accident. One day, all these lawyers and regulators showed up in dark suits from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or the NRC, from Washington, D.C. The engineers on the task force made reports about what went wrong, but they weren't invited to the big meetings or the press conferences. The media seemed to get the story wrong. And all of a sudden, I saw how political and public sentiment could turn on a dime against a technology. This was my first, and unfortunately not last, experience with the contrast between reality, as the technologists understand it, and the perceptions of technology as created by other forces in the rest of the world. That didn't sit well with me, so I listened to that nudge. It seemed to me that if only lawyers or politicians or the press had technical training, maybe they would have portrayed those events differently. They would have been more objective. So that's how I got the idea to go to law school. also might have had something to do with a minor explosion in a material science lab, so my professors were actually pretty encouraging about me going to law school. My second nudge happened while I was at law school, actually the first week I got there. I learned that I was only one of 2 engineers out of a class of 600 students. I don't know if any of you know law students, but they're very opinionated and they love giving advice. And they all told me, you should be a patent attorney with your background. I had no idea what a patent attorney was, but I listened, I looked into it. So I talked to some working patent attorneys. And back then, attorneys in general weren't very happy people, but the patent lawyers were very happy. So I listened. Thanks to my engineering degree, I was able to get jobs every summer. And the third year of my law school career, I was able to get a part-time job. My non-techie classmates had to struggle to find minimum wage jobs or work for free. My third nudge happened when I was in a law firm and a senior partner who was an electrical engineer approached me about helping on a biotech patent case because I had a chemical engineering degree. It was the first kind of its case and it was very exciting. So again, I switched careers. Instead of arguing about getting patents issued by the Patent and Trademark Office, I started a career as a litigator, working in federal cases. From there, it was a series of small nudges that moved me to where I am today. Today, I work at an amazing company with engineers that are the world's experts in robotics. They design, they manufacture, and they sustain these products that are used throughout the world in surgeries. I've worked with amazing engineers at every level, from just about every engineering discipline. I've also worked with engineers who happen to be trained as doctors, lawyers, business executives, and venture capitalists. There are so many big problems left for engineers to tackle today. It's almost 2014, and we don't have enough fresh water for people around the world. We still need clean, renewable energy sources. We need to be able to build structures and cities to protect them from extreme weather conditions. We've sequenced the entire human genome, but we still can't cure cancer or diabetes. We have big data being generated everywhere, but we don't know how to handle it. We haven't developed interplanetary travel or terraformed Mars. In fact, we still don't have flying cars or pantyhose that won't run, or Star Trek transporters, which I thought we'd have by now. So my message is, stay curious, be open-minded, and learn from the people around you, both the techies and the non-techies. There are so many different ways you can go with your technical degree. Your nudges and your good instincts will guide you on your path. So good luck and congratulations.